Well, okay, man. The Spurs win the lottery. They're going to get Wemby. And it does feel a little poetic. Mostly just because it feels like Tim Duncan again. And look, the DeJounte trade, this was the best possible outcome you could imagine out of that thing. Where they said, you know what, man? We would rather rebuild for a year, maximize our chances at a pick, and they got the pick. This was the draft pick you dream of. And by the way, I do want to talk about the rest of the lottery a little bit in this video. But for Wemby, I mean, look, we all get it. He is an unreal combination of size and skill where he projects to being an amazing rim protector. Whether that's as a center or as a help guy, he can do both. And then the finishing around the rim, the ability to bring the ball up court himself, like off of a rebound or whatever. He can attack off the catch. Hell, he's got dribble moves. Like, he's got between the legs dribbles with his size. Like, again, just an unreal combination of all this. He's already shown so many signs of, like, turnaround jumpers and face-up jumpers over smaller guys on him in the post. And we'll see if teams try to be, like, really physical with him, like, in the post and all that. But, of course, you know, with the handle and the shot and everything, it's just, we get it. He projects to being potentially one of the best players of all time. Like, those are the things right now for him. And to think that Pop is going to be coaching him for, you know, for at least as long as Popovich wants to keep doing this. And, well, the Spurs are back in the conversation, you know, amongst large stream media. I know us NBA diehards, like, yeah, we care about Sohan and Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell and Trey Jones and all that. And, okay, let's think about this, you know. I already am excited about the defensive potential with Sohan and Wemby. Because with Sohan, you're talking about just his switchability defensively already to, you know, guard guys bigger than him and all that. And then with Wemby being able to protect the basket the way he is, and Wemby can move around the floor very well as well. It's not like he's just going to stand in front of the basket, you know? And then with Pop, you know, coaching that defense, I mean, I get it. Other players there matter, but I mean, they could be an elite defense one day. And then you think on offense, you know, Keldon, he got to, what, 22 points a game this year, and he's a good enough ball handler to where he can attack in a straight line. You know, he can work off of screens. You're not going to run a million pick and rolls with him a game, but I think him not having to take on as much responsibility, and obviously just the stuff that Wemby's presence is going to create for him, that should allow him to attack off the catch. It should allow him to get cutting stuff on. Vassell is an awesome shooter. Malachi Branham at the tail end of the season was also getting some downhill stuff going, especially like moving off of handoffs and stuff. So there is talent here already, and it'll be interesting. You know, Trey Jones is a really good assist-to-turnover point guard. Like, yeah, he's not a dynamic pull-up shooting type of guy, but like Wemby could screen for him right now, and Trey Jones is going to make the right play. But of course, Wemby's going to be doing a lot more than just screening for ball handlers and stuff. So yeah, and also I didn't mention with Sohan, like they've been kind of building Sohan up already, little seeds here and there of somebody they can run offense through one day, like a point forward sort of thing. I think it's going to take time, but he's definitely got IQ with his passing and all that. And so yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot more videos about the Spurs moving forward. Anyway, I do want to touch on the rest of the lottery for just a little bit, and then, you know, we got Nuggets, Lakers, and that video probably in a couple hours from, well, depending on when you see this, I guess. Anyway, the Hornets at number 2. So Scoot, of course, is in the mold of like a Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook type of point guard, super athlete who you can run your offense through, work on around pick and rolls, create stuff for others, and also like his pull-up mid-range has been pretty promising, which leads you to hope that his 3-ball can develop. And I mean, if teams are going to dare him to make shots, you know, pull-up mid-range, good sign, right? Now, I could picture some people being like, yeah, well, what does it look like next to LaMelo and, you know, two guys who want to, you know, you run the offense through and all that. Look, man, talent is talent. If you think he's the best guy, you just got to pick him. I mean, for what it's worth, if you wanted to find the more classic fit next to the guy who can already run everything with LaMelo, then, like, yeah, Brandon Miller is an easier pick there because he's more of a wing and he's a shooter and he's already shown some stuff with, like, off-ball stuff, like, you know, pick and pops or ghost screens or whatever. And he should project as probably like a secondary ball handler sort of thing where you're not going to run your offense through him, but look, he can, or he should get to the point where like he can work off of screens consistently. He already makes good reads. Of course, the other thing with Miller is, well, to be honest, I didn't know what to do with this. Like, do I acknowledge the off-the-court stuff? Do I not? I don't know. If I'm making the wrong decision by at least having this little blurb, my bad. But if you think Scoot's the guy, then you think Scoot's the guy. Blazers at number 3, which, you know, that's a huge win for Portland, of course. Look, pretty much every single big board that I can find, it's Brandon Miller and it's Scoot Henderson at 2 and 3, in whatever order you want to do it with. I suppose if there is any team where there is a higher chance of them trading the pick, maybe it's the Blazers, just based on, you know, Dame and where he's at in his career. There's no shame in making a pick. Now, I get it. There might be some pressure because of Dame and like I just said, but yeah. Houston at number 4, it's kind of a tough blow. I think they said, I feel like the feeling with them was basically like, okay, we want Wemby, but if not, we can get Scoot and he can be the offensive engine that we're really looking for. And so at number 4, it does get a little tougher. I mean, look, Amen Thompson is very popular at number 4. He's an elite athlete. He's also an awesome passer. Like, he's got a great first step. I mean, the question with him really is the jump shot. And I do also feel like if he was coached by Ime Udoka, he would hit his ceiling as a defensive player, and he's already shown potential of having like switchability, like 1 through 3, as well as getting in passing lanes and all that. So we'll see with Houston. Number 5, we've got the Pistons. Definitely a tough break to not end up in even the after commercial break portion of the lottery that goes on for 30 minutes. With that being said, look, if you want to look at the thing with the Pistons right now, you say, okay, well, at the guard spots, they got Cade and Ivy. They're good there. At center, they got Duren and Wiseman. I think most people are higher on Duren. I think that's fair right now, but okay, Wiseman's on the roster. And so you say, well, they need a forward. Well, Taylor Hendricks is certainly an interesting player to me. He's already an awesome help defender, weak side shot blocker, all that nice stuff. He can shoot threes, so in some ways he's like kind of your dream modern 4. Now, they've been trying to get Isaiah Stewart into that sort of thing, but like, it just might not hit the same, you know? Another option could be Cam Whitmore, who's more of like a powerhouse at the 4 spot, where he's also an awesome athlete who can just be like really physical on drives and all that. We'll see. They do still have Bogdanovich at one of their forward spots, but, you know. But hey, maybe you go with Ausar Thompson in that spot. I mean, Ausar, similar to his brother, very good athlete, not as elite as Amen is as an athlete. Ausar does project to being a better shooter. He's also probably a little better as like an on-ball defender, especially right now. Doesn't quite have the same like separation stuff off the dribble and all that. I don't want to get too carried away right now. Wemby's going to the Spurs.